There's a prophecy that states Philion is never wrong, he's just early. That's right. A lot has happened since last time we talked about the fake Natty drama. I was outside touching grass and even sand when this memo slid across my desk at the compound. Fitness industry legend Scott Herman Fitness makes a video criticizing Jeff Nippard defending the fake natties. You know who I'm talking about. Mr. Perfect, one in a gorillion genetics. In his comment section, Gregory Doucette leaves a comment stating, it turns out that Hussein Farhat was actually on a 16-month cycle when he first joined the gym involving a lot of steroids, as well as MK677, and then hopped off, and has a certain type of polymorphism that allows him to keep all the gains. I was as shocked as everyone, I'm sure, once this video comes out, but I was not part of it. I did not know that he had done this for the first 16 months of his lifting career. Internet goes crazy. This has 2,000 upvotes. Jeff Nippard comes out. Says, incredibly disappointing. I guess this is where you all get to say, I told you so. Now, props to Jeff Nippard for admitting that he was potentially wrong, but there's more to the story here, okay? Because here at Third Eye Global, we're always on the lookout for psyops, which is exactly what's going on here. For what it's worth, I do think this is most likely just a very stupid publicity stunt from Greg to keep people talking about this. But it doesn't matter at this point, because now the people like me who thought Hussein probably was natural will join the legion of doubters. I still think Hussein's physique is achievable naturally, even if he isn't. But no worries, I'll still hold my L. This stuff really annoys me, because it just further feeds into the idea that everyone is a fake natty, which may be closer to the truth than I realized. And now I really regret including Hussein in my video. This stuff causes harm to real naturals who have actually earned an elite physique without gear. See, this is my main criticism. The only real naturals we should be talking about are fat milkers, okay? Let's stick to what's important. Apart from that, all the science I presented in the videos about what's achievable naturally still stands. Moving forward, if I ever cover this topic again, which I probably won't, I'm going to focus on presenting the science without using specific examples. Hussein leaves a comment, video coming soon. Simeon Panda leaves a comment. Mr. Lifetime Natural in bio. This is not a game or clickbait material. It's just a mockery to people who may look up to you. I will never joke around or create any ambiguity around being natural. Hence why I have lifetime in my bio. So there can be no mistake. If this is clickbait, it's a terrible and disappointing move. You got everyone and their mothers commenting, soying out, oh my god, wow, who would have thought? Okay, I don't partake in this nonsense. First of all, leaving a comment, no. I stay in my own lane, from afar, in the bushes, with my trinoculars. Let's unpack what happens after this. We get a video by Anabolic Stick. Now, he's probably still behind on the drama, and for the sake of organization, we will watch this video, and then watch another video after, which will explain in detail what they tried to do, because after this, it's going to be a Hussein Farhat x Greg Doucette explanation video. But as of right now, people are very upset. Why would you do this? Why would you psyop us? Why would you lie about lying? See what he has to say.
Nippard has decided to double down after getting a ton of backlash on his latest video defending fake natties. Hussein Farhat has been lying again, and Greg Doucette has been devolving deeper and deeper into a testosterone-fueled psychosis by schizo-posting yet another video about me. We've got some stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. So I was working on another YouTube video when I was made aware that a second Jeff video had just hit the towers. I went ahead and left a comment on the video, which has garnered 22,000 likes by now. However, there's still so much left to unpack in Jeff's response, so let's take a look at it.
Most people try to figure out if someone is natural or not by looking at them. If they're below the line, they're natty. If they're above the line, they're not. But the problem is, people draw that line in very different places.
Well, it's actually a lot more nuanced than that, Jeff, and you know it. As a matter of fact, it's quite dishonest.
A lot of people think I just use the eye test, which should be all that's necessary. I've been training my whole life. You just know. The dick skin, the skin-splitting pumps, the varicose veins, the traps connecting to the earlobes, rate of strength progress, insane genetics, monetary incentives, physiognomy. There's only one GOAT when it comes to calling this shit out, and it goes without saying. I'm not going to glaze myself any further.
To frame this like we're just taking a glance at his physique and reaching a conclusion. We took a look at his starting point, his entire fitness journey, and the circumstances in which...
yes, the snow shovel pull-ups in the garage.
He built his muscle. That's what I did in my original video, and that's what Greg Doucette did in his original Natty or Not, where he said he absolutely does not think Hussein is natural.
I hated being skinny, so I dedicated myself
That's right. Saying it's just the eye test is cope.
every single day. 19 months later, I mean, you saw it with your own eyes. In 19 months, that's 1 year and 7 months, he went from being a skinny guy, he seemed to have some abs, to having a ton of muscle. It's very obvious.
Yeah, it's extremely obvious that he's a cash cow and can be used as a face of fitness industry products to peddle to the masses.
It's as if he put 17 years of training in only a matter of 17 months. To me, this is indicative of a guy who is using performance-enhancing drugs.
Which actually brings me to a very important point that I want to make. What you'll notice is that the goalposts have fully shifted. When this whole drama started, the main point
What the fuck are we talking about? Just look at the thumbnail. I'm tired of being gaslit.
of contention was whether blood tests were valid or not. Both Greg Doucette and I agreed that Hussein's transformation simply does not make sense.
I think the only explanation, if anyone ever criticizes my judgment, is just, you're a retard. Period. Full stop. That's it. That's all that needs to be said. Why do you think he's not natural? You're retarded. Move on.
For it to be natural. That wasn't the disagreement. Me and Greg were fully in agreement of that. You can't even say that Greg was fooled by lighting and manipulated pictures, because he still thought Hussein to absolutely not be natural, even after training with him in real life. The disagreement was that Greg thought a singular blood test was plenty of evidence to prove that he is natural, and thus could only make sense of his insane transformation by calling him 1 in a million, whereas I believe that anything short of regular water-grade drug testing with a bunch of other important stipulations to be the only remotely valid way of proving one's natty status.
There's just no valid way. There's no free lunches. Armstrong passed hundreds of tests. Top athletes in every sport. World records being broken on a daily basis.
However, the Hussein apologists have fully shifted the conversation to Hussein's transformation actually not being that crazy at all, and he just abuses a pump, lighting, and angles. Apparently everyone now has a classmate or a relative that made the exact same transformation as Hussein did in the same amount of time. People will be in the comment section saying that I'm jealous and have shit expectations, meanwhile Greg himself was stumped at first by Hussein's transformation. Oh, and TNF too.
I've been training for what, 3 years? 3 years, yeah. I'm pushing a decade, so. The first time somebody sent a video of yours to mine, they were like, is this guy Natty? I'm like,
I don't trust any of these snakes in the grass.
obviously not.
And let's not forget Larry Wheels.
Training, by the way. So I'm training 16 years. How about yourself? 3. You're only training for 3 years? Yeah. No way.
But sure, I have shit expectations for thinking Hussein isn't natural.
Larry Wheels has a good eye for this. Because he knows. He knows the deal.
Some people draw the line here, at Will Tennyson. Others draw the line right up too, but not including Simian Panda. Believe it or not,
Dude, Simian Panda's natural. He said so. It's in his bio.
a lot of people still think that The Rock is natty. And
Yeah, that's because gear recognize gear. That's right.
recently, millions of people fell for the Liver King scam, buying that his physique came from his ancestral diet and not the $10,000 monthly steroid cocktail.
Literally no one that has actually trained for more than 1 month fell for the Liver King scam. The only people that fell for it are normies that don't work
Are retards.
out.
So, in this video, I'm diving straight into the dumpster fire, and I'm taking 3 tools with me: history, science, and common sense. And using those 3 tools, I'm gonna give my final answer to the question, how big can you get without steroids?
4.9 inches. That's the max. Anything bigger than that, implants.
Let me just put that bait on there real quick. Okay, perfect. As big as me, I am the absolute pinnacle of human evolution, a specimen of human morphology, dare I say an ubermensch, and anyone that has a gram of muscle more than me is undoubtedly on steroids.
So, based on all this, I think it's safe to say that in all likelihood, American bodybuilders weren't juicing before the 1950s.
That's not fair to say, because it was synthesized in 1935.
Which means that this physique from 1947 was built 100% naturally. In this photo, Steve Reeves is 21 years old at 6 foot 1 inches tall, 215 pounds, and what looks to be around 10, maybe 12% body fat.
Now, he actually wasn't the biggest guy that I could find from this era, but I do think he was the most aesthetic.
And the real reason that I picked Steve Reeves as an example of a natural bodybuilder from the pre-steroid era is that literally everyone agrees that this physique is 100% achievable naturally.
Nobody agrees on that. Some might.
Right?
I was just thinking that this is just gay. Like, sometimes people will say, Phil, why does everything have to be fake or gay? Why can't you come up with other adjectives? This is actually homosexual. We're looking at shirtless men, at their nipples, at their juicy muscles. This is really gay.
Right? All right, well, there are a few skeptics. I guess these people think that Steve Reeves, a 21-year-old from Montana, found a steroid plug before the US Olympics team at a time when the US-Soviet rivalry was at an all-time high.
You know what?
This is homosexuality parading as straight masculinity, that's right.
I'll entertain this. I know there are some mega skeptics out there that think Steve Reeves was a natural, but okay, let's just say he was. Steve Reeves was the top bodybuilder of his time. He's widely regarded as
Your average high schooler in a Netflix show.
the figurehead for the silver era of bodybuilding. He's an absolute legend, and I think it's more than fair to say.
You guys know anyone that looks like this? Genuinely speaking, just mogging everyone. I have never met a single person who looks even close to this.
That his genetics are truly 1 in a million. Steve Reeves started lifting weights at age 15. This is what he looked like after a little more than 1 year of training at age 16. And this is what Hussein Farhat looked like after only 6 months of training coming from this physique. By the way, this is when he had just joined a real gym for the first time, so all of these gains that you see were made by training in his garage with a broomstick and a ladder for pull-ups and limited dumbbells. So he seemingly made double the gains that Steve Reeves made in half the time with some raggedy home equipment. Okay, Jeff.
I guess these people think that Steve Reeves, a 21-year-old from Montana, found a steroid plug before the US Olympics
He
team
probably did. What the fuck else is there to do in Montana? I'd probably blast gear too. Or shoot myself. I mean, holy buckets.
at a time when the US-Soviet rivalry was at an all-time high. But you know what? Let's entertain the extreme skepticism and go back to before Ernst LeCure ever isolated testosterone. The most jacked person I could find from this era was this man, Eugene Sandow. To this day, this is who the Mr. Olympia trophy is named after. This photo was taken in 1897, 6 years before.
Comms out or DDP? You know the answer. DDP, by clown cream pie to the face. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. DDP by slipping on a banana peel.
Before the airplane was invented. He was 5'9", 185 pounds, at around 10% body fat.
Didn't we watch this video like 12 times now? Just do the Hussein video? No, that's not how slop works. We're in the trenches. We consume piece by piece. Welcome to farming.
And 100% natural. But
we need all the context clues we can get to piece together an accurate storyline of the events that have unfolded.
1800s were a long time ago. I mean, gym equipment looked like this, and this, and okay, this is actually a pretty cool lap pull
The real cope here is that weight is weight.
down, but the point is, Eugene Sandow was not training anywhere near optimally in 1897.
Because you don't need to train optimally, you just gotta work hard. I mean, this only makes sense if you believe in training optimally. As a natural lifter, you have one option: get strong. Doesn't matter which way you slice it, cut it, all this fluff and pump nonsense. You just gotta get strong. That's how I could see through it. When you see a twink with the Larry the Lobster muscles, bunch of Sarm Goblin broccoli heads running around, I know that they're not strong, because they're a bunch of fucking puss boys.
Ever since starting this YouTube channel, I just can't look at this picture the same anymore. If there are any living descendants of Eugene Sandow, I'm so very sorry, but his face belongs to me now. Also, none of this proves Hussein is natural.
The most groundbreaking study on natural
5'9", 180 looking like this is fine and unrelated to Hussein and modern fraud. That's right.
muscular development was published by Corey and colleagues in 1995. The researchers went to local gyms in Los Angeles and Boston and asked people if they were natty or not. They got 74 natties and 83 enhanced guys to volunteer for the study. Then, after urine testing them to make sure they weren't lying, the researchers measured everyone's height, weight, and body fat percentage using hydrostatic underwater weighing, which was considered one of the gold standards at the time. From there, they plugged all their body measurements into this formula for fat-free mass index, or FFMI, which is basically just a number that tells you how jacked you are.
Okay, well, I think we can all tell that this study seems to have some flaws. From the sample pool that seems to be concentrated in only 2 spots to the fact that people could have simply lied and said they were natty when they were not. Urine tests can easily be beat. Moreover, some people that claimed natty could have been on gear way before and
None of this is relevant.
retained all of those myonuclei in their muscles when they hopped off and claimed natty at the time of the study. But okay.
Hussein Farhat, the fitness influencer,
One part about this, Jeff said they all had them do a urine test to prove they weren't lying, and nobody calls it out. Urine definitely doesn't prove.
from my last video, is 185 pounds
Jeff Nippard was the kid in class asking the teacher for homework.
at 5 foot 11 inches tall and around
Mixing science with lifting heavy is just cringe. Always has been.
12% body fat. He has an FFMI of, what do you think, 25, 26, 27? Now, Hussein's FFMI was 22.8. Now, I know the issue with Hussein isn't his size per se. It's the speed of his transformation that's suspicious.
Like, I took blood work and urine at a doctor and I was on the gas and they didn't see anything, LOL. I was blasting and cruising trenbolone into my eyelids, and the poor nurse had no idea.
In this Instagram post, Hussein said he went from 134 to 184 pounds in his first 3 years of lifting at around the same body fat. I know he looks a lot leaner on the right, but there's some serious angle lighting.
Serious angles and lighting doing the heavy lifting here.
And photo filter tricks going on there, so it's honestly not a good comparison. Regardless, let's just say he gained 50 pounds of lean mass in 3 years. Is that possible naturally?
Well, let's see what the science has to say.
Well, let's look at it from a scientific angle. This is a table for realistic rates of muscle gain in men from my textbook,
In your own book. I can't, dude.
The Muscle Ladder, which I wrote before I knew who Hussein was. I said that most men will gain
So many people listen to Jeff. Don't they have any self-agency? No. Because it's a bunch of broccoli head Zoomers who have never actually fucking touched a barbell in their entire life. That's what the shitness industry is. Who buy gas station dick pills, every fucking powder that's plugged to them.
10 to 25 pounds of lean mass in their first year of lifting, 5 to 10 pounds in their second year, and 2.5 to 7.5 pounds in their third year. And I based those figures
Somehow walking around with a 5% one day you may rich piana mutant jug is less cringe than this. Like, take me back. Mike Chang's six-pack shortcuts unironically had more aura than whatever this is.
of this 2020 systematic review on whole body muscle growth in healthy adult males. So, according to my table, we're looking at a range of 17.5 to 42.5 pounds of lean mass gained in your first 3 years. Hussein gained 50. So yes, he's above the typical range.
Now this is a major oversight in Jeff's video. As already established in my responding to Greg Doucette video, Hussein Farhat actually put on all of his size in about 18 months and has basically been the same ever since. By the way, I know that we say that this is Hussein Farhat's 3-year transformation, but he's
I still can't believe that this is optically what we're going off of. You could show this to a 97-year-old with dementia and she'd be like, fake Natty.
pretty much been the same size for over a year now. So this is actually more like his 2-year transformation in terms of muscle mass added. Let me give you some examples. This is a picture of Hussein roughly a year ago, and this is a picture of Hussein at the start of this month. The guy looks like he didn't put on any muscle. And on top of that, this is a picture he also posted a year ago, and
I'd be a little convinced if he said 7 to 8 years of training for that. What don't you guys understand? A supraphysiological physique is a supraphysiological physique. I don't care if you spend 35 years in the gym, you're never fucking looking like this, period! His veins are thicker than most people's pee-pees. His deltoids are capped. You don't get this muscularity as a natural, ever. It's not possible. There's a ceiling.
this is the exact same picture he posted 1 year later. If Mr. 1 in a million genetic
Yeah, I'm just mad I got 1 in 3 genetics. Yeah.
Made this many gains in 1.5 years, why is he still around the same size that he was a year ago to the point he can literally just recycle pictures from a year ago on his feed now? Why hasn't Mr. 1 in a million genetics made any tangible gains in over a year and a half? As far as I know, people that are natural don't start plateauing gains wise until at least 5 years into training. Again, sounds like someone who has hopped off cycle for over a year and has been maintaining it ever since. Kind of adds up with the exact point in time that he passed Greg's drug test 9 months ago too, doesn't it? So those 3 years are 18 months in reality. The transformation that Jeff says is unlikely within 3 years was actually done in almost half that time. I left a comment laying out this exact point, and as of now, it's the most liked comment on this video, sitting at about 23,000 likes. This simple oversight renders his entire argument obsolete. Now on to the part where Hussein Farhad has been lying about me. Greg posted a reaction video to my Jeff video that was basically just an advert.
Dude, if you were to tell me 8 years ago that this would be the current state of the fitness industry, I would laugh. Like, nothing ever changes. It's the same script.
Advertisement for snake oil supplements, and was also just rambling like a schizo the entire time. He pinned a comment on this video, which reads, I think Greg and Hussein need to publicly call out Anabolic Stick on the fact that he chickened out of testing.
I'm more mad people actually give a fuck about this. Bro's a default broccoli gym spawn.
Hussein, despite Connor Sinan offering to pay for it. His reasoning was being that Hussein is clearly off cycle now, yet he also claims in his most recent video that Hussein is still looking very much.
I started working out doing push-ups and shit. Why would roids be the first thought? Because you underestimate people's need for validation, their crippling body dysmorphia, their need for approval. It boils down to instant gratification. That's it.
Not Natty. Guy is clearly afraid that Hussein will pass all of his tests and his YouTube channel will then fade back to irrelevance. Now this comment is just blatantly false. Someone commented, to be fair, Anabolic Stick had very
If you're not a Chad and there's a vial that says Chad medicine on it and the Faustian deal is money, attention, and fame, it one-shots a lot of people.
Specific requirements to accept the testing, and the other guy was not willing to agree to the whole process as one current test at the moment doesn't prove anything, and the only conclusive way to prove it would be random testing over time. And if
It's because 99% of people don't train as hard as they need to, especially for the results they want. If they did, probably way less roids would be used. And I think people underestimate the fact that this is figured out, right? Lifting weights, strength training, putting on muscle. We understand how this works. We're just looking for the magic bullet in every single scenario. It's being extrapolated. Do I need creatine? No. Do I need protein powder? No. Do I need to do some myo reps? No. What you need to do is look at a barbell, add weight to it, and press it, or squat it, or push it, or pull it. And guess what? That's boring. That's boring. It's fucking boring. But guess what? The fun is in the journey of testing yourself day in, day out, adding weight to the bar, failing, trying again, getting stronger. Spamming lateral raises and watching your shoulders blow up because you have an entire pharmacy coursing through your veins is a lot more electric and exciting than getting crushed by a barbell because you're too soy to lift it yet.
Hussein was not natural, it would be easy to stay off gear till the hype is over, whereas Anabolic Stick wanted randomized testing over a long period of time while also checking.
The funniest thing about optimal training is that the most optimal thing is progressive overload via compound lifts, aka bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press, dips, pull-ups, times infinity.
Max strength along the way to show no loss in strength while testing natural. To which Hussein commented, I accepted all his terms, kept a $100,000 bet, and even had Connor go over all the testing costs, and bro still didn't show up. To this I commented, when have my terms of third-party water grade randomized drug testing twice a month for 6 to 9 months, alongside a hair follicle test at the start and end of the testing period, supplemented with DEXA scans to gauge whether muscle mass is atrophied, ever been accepted. All Connor said was show up to do one drug test and we'll see what we'll do afterwards. Doesn't sound very inspiring now, does it? Keep deceiving your audience. That's pretty much what happened. I tested Connor.
Like, the only way bodybuilding is legitimized is via steroids. Because training isolation movements, the fluff and pump nonsense, is not enough to get you there. You quite literally need roids.